before we dive into the writers, we wanted to draw your attention, to those that are watching, to the fact that we're wearing our sweatshirts again.
Yeah, we're wearing our Dichotomy crew neck sweatshirts once again.
Yep. And a few weeks back, we did a little recap on this season's Dichotomies, and we hadn't had it ready for sale, but now it is ready for sale. We figured out the cost structure and how we wanted to go about doing that, so we put them on again to let you know that they are now on sale.
Right. And we'll put a little link so that if you want to refresh your memory or hear for the first time what these sweatshirts are all about, you can see that. We're not going to repeat ourselves because we've already done it. So we'll put a link about that. But do you want to talk a little bit about the cost structure?
Sure. I think you have it pulled up on your phone, right?
Yeah, I have it written here on my phone. And we've also made a little graphic that maybe we'll put over this video.
That's right.
Meaning you, Mike, maybe you'll do that.
I will do that.
Perfect. So in all of our cost structures, we break things down by variable costs and fixed costs. What does that mean? Variable costs are costs that show up in every single item. So, for example, in these sweatshirts, there's the labor that goes into printing them because every single sweatshirt needs to be printed. So that's 10 minutes for printing. There's time for heat setting. There's time for setting up the screen. There's time for cleaning the screen. In total, we say that it takes 40 minutes to print each sweatshirt. There's delivery labor, which we have as free because we walk these sweatshirts. We add it into our route. We don't do it on a separate day. We add it into the route that we're already doing anyway.
Yep.
So we don't charge for that. There's material cost, 74 cents of ink per shirt. And there's the crew neck itself, which these cost $7 a piece from Udelco. And I didn't say our 40 minutes is at $25 an hour for the printing, so that's $16.68. So our variable costs total are $24.41. And again, variable cost, so that's like for each sweatshirt, the actual cost of each sweatshirt is $24.41. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That makes sense. So then there's also the fixed costs, which are the costs that you pay once.
Yeah.
And then it has to get filtered in through however many you think that, you might sell or you might make. So for these, the fixed costs are the screens, which cost $169 to get 2 screens made. It's the squeegee, which is $15.12. It's the blackout tape, which is what you use on the screen to cover up the edges and make sure that ink doesn't go through, $13.07. It's the design labor, which took us 15 hours to design these, $25 an hour, that's $3.75. And then it's the rental car to Udelco, which was $65. So our total fixed cost here is $637.19. We did a little standard wholesale calculation and a standard retail markup just to give an idea of what the industry might charge. And then we basically just pick a number in between that makes sense. And so these sweatshirts are going to be $89 a piece.
That's right.
Which is what they are. I was going to say which I think is a great deal, but I realize in talking about pricing and labor, I think just the general concept of that's a great deal, that's not a great deal, that seems like a lot, that seems like a little. It's all so dependent on who you are and what you know about things and what you like and how much money you have and what money means to you and how you were brought up in how you were supposed to buy things and spend money on things. So I don't even think I should be putting a judgment on that. That is just the price. And I just explained it very clearly why it's the price.
Right. Yep.
It is the appropriate price.
Yes, based on math.
Based on math.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Yeah. So that is something that we've been pretty transparent and interested in we've said it a number of times on this podcast and in person with various people, we are interested in demonstrating how much things actually cost and, trying to put together goods that reflect that are also not just created for this purpose, that are sourced by us as things that are reused, but nice items.
Yeah, exactly. And I especially think that understanding the reason that I wanted to read through all of these costs for this time, I don't think we did it last time, is that I do think that understanding, I think a lot of times when we think about how much something costs, we think more about those variable costs, which are the costs that go into each thing. So like I said, in total, each one of these separately is $24.41 cost to us.
Right.
And then the markup is to $89. So I think a lot of times people are like, well, how did you get there? How did you figure that you should add $60 to that? That's a 4-time markup. I'm confused. They're trying to gouge me or something.
Right.
But in reality, there's all these other costs that have to get filtered in, and you have to pay yourself for your time, and you have to pay for all the materials and all these things that you just sort of are there already.
Yeah.
And I think maybe people don't always think about that.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit arbitrary. There is math, but there is also a little bit of well, maybe this seems right, or this is how many maybe we'll sell, and it's kind of hard to know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't believe this is part of the sheet that we present, but there also is the number that we have to break even with the costs.
It's on there.
Oh, it is on there too. Yeah.
It's so the break even formula is the fixed costs divided by the price minus the variable cost.
Yeah.
And we break even at 9.9 sweatshirts.
That's right.
So if we sell 10 sweatshirts, we'll get a 0.1 profit.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I don't know. Will we sell 10 sweatshirts? Really unclear.
Yeah.
Be wonderful to sell 10 sweatshirts. If we don't, that's totally fine too. But it gives you a sense of oh, wow. Yeah, well, then I guess it makes sense to be $89 insofar as if it were cheaper, then you're going to have to sell 20 something,
I don't even think we have 20 sweatshirts to
sell. We didn't buy 20 sweatshirts to sell.
And then if it goes the other way too, 10 sweatshirts keeps it pretty nice and unique. If we only had 5 sweatshirts or something, we'd have to double the price.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think it helps. I hope it's kind of interesting to people. I find this endlessly fascinating.
Yeah, we both do. We hope you find it interesting as well. If you do, leave some comments. Let us know because we like talking about it.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about it more, but I think we probably don't want to overdo it if it's not something that people want to know about.
Right.
If they're just let me buy a sweatshirt.
Yeah. But these will be on sale for the next 2 to 3 weeks until we go into spring. So March is definitely sweatshirt weather.
Yeah.
We're kind of getting to that time where it's one day it's warm, the next day it's cold. So get yourself a sweatshirt.
But sweatshirt weather lasts also.
Oh, sure.
You can get yourself a sweatshirt now and prep for one of my favorite times to wear a sweatshirt, I gotta say, is pre-midsummer, sometime in early-ish June, when it's warm during the day. But if you're going to be out late, especially if you're going to end up on a rooftop or something, bring a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Because it gets chilly.
Yeah.
And it's such a nice chilly because you haven't felt chilly for a while.
Yeah.
So.
That's a little Rego
you can always
foresight.
It's Rego foresight.
Yeah.
Thanks. Again, if you don't know what we're talking about, click the link below
Rego
to
site.
learn what Rego is.
Rego flight. Yeah.